Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Berta here, bringing you yet another video here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And guys, before we get started on talking about LeBron James and his 2018-2019 season debut, go and check out our other videos we have here on the channel as well. We, of course, have a video talking about who's going to be Rookie of the Year between Luka Doncic, and is it going to be a front-runner race with him? And also go and check out our video as well talking about the process and the Boston Celtics versus the 76ers in the first game on Tuesday night. Go and check out that video and let me know what you guys think of what I think of the process, and if I'm right or if I'm wrong, go and check that video out and let me know in the comments down below in that video. Now let's talk about LeBron James' debut. It was much anticipated. TNT got the game, so you know it was going to be a lot of hype. It was going to be a late night game. You know, we're not used to seeing LeBron James in the late night games, except, you know, when he's playing a West Coast team. But now we have LeBron James here in the West Coast playing those late night games, and this was just absolutely insane. It was very hyped. I mean, just going to the places I was at, the restaurants I was at, it was very, I would say, lit. I mean, there was a lot of people just celebrating the LeBron James dunks at the beginning. I mean, this was a very typical LeBron James type of game. But the one thing that I will say is that the Lakers have both positives and negatives to work on. So let's start with the positives. The number one thing I will say is that the ball was evenly distributed. I mean, we saw a lot of guys, you know, 26 points for LeBron James tonight, 16 for Brandon Ingram, 13 for JaVale McGee, which is really good, and 13 for Rondo. 20 for Josh Hart when that was just later in the quarter because he was hitting those threes, and Kyle Kuzma had 15 as well, but he didn't really have a particularly good game. So it was a really evenly distributed game. I will say this, they like to run up and down the court a lot, and that's probably how this team is going to be successful. It's not going to be the three-point shooting. It's not going to be back to the basket. It's going to be those fast break points because they're a very young team. They're a team that just likes to get up and down the court. And Luke Walton knows like how to really get the best out of this team because we're seeing that they're not really shooting the ball very well. And we'll talk about that in the negatives later going on this video. But I will say up and down the court is great. Brandon Ingram, he didn't prove to me to get that 20 points, which is what I'm expecting him to get this season, but I'm expecting it to be later on down the line. But now let's go on to the negatives because I feel like the negatives are really going to be hindering this team. So the first negative is, of course, that they were 0 for 15 at one point in this game from three-point land, and that's just not acceptable. Today in NBA, you cannot be 0 for 15. I mean, we saw what happened with the Houston Rockets last time. It just doesn't work out. And this team just shot very terrible from the three-point land. They shot 23%. That's not going to win you games. And I'm very disappointed because Kyle Kuzma was 1 of 7. Lonzo Ball was 1 of 4. I mean, he didn't really get to play that much, 19 minutes. I mean, the guy that got a lot of minutes was Rajon Rondo. I mean, that's surprising to me that Rondo got 32 minutes and Lonzo Ball only got 19, but that's just the way that it is. I mean, you can't really change that much about it. When you got Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench getting 29, Josh Hart getting 27. Josh Hart, I know a lot of people talked about him, but I think they're right. He's definitely going to be a guy that LeBron James likes a lot because he has a very good stroke and he's also a very good scorer. I mean, we saw what he could do out on the court, and that's just the way it is. I mean, this is going to be a very interesting season with Josh Hart now elevated above Lonzo Ball when last season that wasn't the case. They're about at the same level. But when you bring in guys like LeBron James, Rajon Rondo, JaVale McGee, I mean, just a lot of different guys, Lonzo Ball's minutes are going to be reduced, and LeBron James's minutes and Rondo's minutes are going to be increased. It's going to be a very tough ask for Lonzo Ball to get more minutes, just the way that he's been playing. I mean, he wasn't I would say he wasn't himself, but I mean, at the same time, when you play 19 minutes, you only get 4 rebounds, 1 assist, it looks like 1 steal. It just wasn't his game tonight, and that's just something that's just going to have to be dealing with this. And then LeBron James is 0-4. I mean, the crazy thing is that LeBron James is probably this team's best shooter, and he's a streaky shooter at best. I mean, he's a guy that's not consistent with his jumper, and when he's feeling it, he's feeling it. But when he's not, I mean, we can see when he's not feeling it how his teams really do. And this isn't Cleveland anymore. You don't have those sharpshooters around it. I'm going to beg to see what they're going to do. I'm sure they're going to somehow make a trade for a shooter at some point because this cannot go on for too long. I mean, Caldwell Pope, I'm just not buying it. He was 1 of 3 from the field. Like, he did not shoot today. I mean, there was just most of the shots, of course, were going to Brandon Ingram. We're going to Rondo. I mean, Rondo got up 13 shots, which is kind of crazy to think about it. Kuzma put up 15. Hart put up 12. I mean, the shots are just not going Caldwell Pope's way. He's just hitting it when he gets the ball in open space. I mean, he's not hitting it, looking for a shot. He's looking to get the other guys because that's who's mainly going to get the ball. And if we're going to look at it from a perspective of overreaction or not overreaction, I think it's too early to overreact in this game, but at the same time, if I'm going with my overreaction watching the game, I'm a little bit worried in my prediction of where I had them at number 2. It looks like they're probably going to be more towards the number 4. Maybe the Utah Jazz move up. I just don't trust this Lakers team as much as I thought I would. I mean, obviously this is, overreaction talk right now for me. But at the same time, I'm just not really confident in what these Lakers can do, because we see when they don't have the shooting, and they really don't have the shooting. But when you go 23% from the whole game, this is the result you're going to get. You're going to lose to a Portland TrailBlazers team, even though you're attacking them by 2s, and you were in this game a lot. I mean, the one thing that you had to take away from this game was Nick Stauskas, the ex-Sacramento player that was absolutely, terrible, just ended up scoring like 24 points, or 27, excuse me. 7 from 11, 5 from 8 from three-point land. I mean, it was, oh no, never mind. Yeah, 24 points. 24 points from Nick Stauskas. I mean, you're not going to get that every time. But again, the TrailBlazers are going to show you why they believe that they need to be in this conversation of actually being in the playoffs, and why people are now disrespecting them not getting in the playoffs. But at the same time, I mean, you cannot get Nick Stauskas that many points. I mean, there was times where he was just wide open. At some point, you got to be like, all right, we got to somehow, shift our defensive cover. I mean, honestly, to be fair, it's like, we'll live with Nick Stauskas making those points as long as we contain Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, which they didn't really do a good job of. But I will say this, CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, they're not back to their ways of not passing the ball to their teammates. I mean, we're seeing that a little bit at the first half of the game, but the second half, like I said, they passed it to Nick Stauskas. Nick Stauskas was making plays. I mean, this Portland TrailBlazers team, we got to look out for. But moving back to the Lakers, and what really this video is about is just the Lakers. They're going to have to solve their shooting issues one way or another. But I want to know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of the first game for LeBron James? What did it live up to the hype? Was it a game you were excited for, or were you more excited for that Chicago Bulls 76ers game, which was a little more interesting? But at the same time, it is LeBron James' first game. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of it. Anyway, guys, go and check out our other videos. Go and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.